Good evening, Fernwood. It is your lunchbox carrying fiend Neil here, and it's time for us to snack on another episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Today we are watching episode 147 from October 26th, 1976. We have a quick recap, and I believe we'll be able to start after that. Yesterday, Tom hit it off with Annie, whose recreational vehicle he had traveled to repair. Annie realized that Tom was married to Mary Hartman and was very complimentary and wasn't intending anything romantic or sexual or any kind of come-on. They do seem to have some kind of chemistry, though, so we'll see what that means. Martha tells Kathy that really there's no money coming in, so they are going to be very strapped for cash. Then Dr. Furman reaches out to Kathy and suggests that adoption may be a way to make things easier in her life. Kathy is quite offended at this suggestion. Then Mary is able to reach Tom to express her fears about Chester Markham's nuclear device. It sounds fairly delusional, but Tom makes a promise that he will go to visit. That's our recap. It's real quick, but let's get this show on the road.
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
There are no good evenings anymore. Not in this country.
Chester.
There are only bad evenings. Bad days, bad nights. What is this? Is this the Hollywood Squares?
Well, I thought I was watching the 6:30 news. It turns out to be a rerun of the Hollywood Squares.
Corruption.
Chester!
Corruption everywhere. Oil, wheat, aircraft, and now the Hollywood Squares. I know it's going to kill me, but I am going to end this forever, and I'm going to do it now.
Chester, I thought you were going to wait till January and give the new president a chance.
I can't wait. Look, I'm sorry, Mary, but don't you see that what I am doing is the best thing for you?
Chester, you made a promise.
No, nobody keeps promises anymore. Why should I? Look, you got to trust me, Mary. Look, I don't want to hurt you. Believe me, I like you. I don't want to hurt you.
Okay, when?
Don't
When are you going to do this?
pin me down, Mary.
Hello, Chester. Having a nice day?
You're a scandal! Please! Okay, it's okay.
That is it. No, that is it.
Well, what? What is it?
The next time, the very next time somebody says, have a nice day to me, it might as well be goodbye.
Chester.
Chester, really? You're not gonna... Are you really... I mean, the next time...
It's time to end everything, Mary. Boom!
Well, okay. But listen, before we go, I'd really like you to meet my husband. I mean, he's really an interesting man, and he's also, himself very involved with corruption and all that. I mean, he fights his unions and stuff like that. He lost, but he fights, I mean, he loses, but he fights. And also, he's also very mechanically minded, and I just have a very strong feeling that he would just love to hear about your little atomic bomb.
Nuclear device. All right, I'll tell him. Yeah, but now only if he's interested, though. I mean, I hate people who don't pay attention.
Oh no, Chester, no. He will really be interested. I mean, he's gonna get a real big bang out of it. I'm sorry, Chester. Bad joke. It was just a little joke. It was a little joke, nothing to be punished for.
You're getting a little nervous.
Me? I am? No, it's excitement, Chester. I'm just so excited at the idea of you meeting Tom. That is just so exciting to me.
Okay, how about that a minute? Only if he's an understanding man. I mean, now, is he as understanding as you are?
He is so understanding. I mean, he understands things I don't. You know what I mean? I mean, you will tell him, won't you, Chester?
Of course.
Oh, Tom. Oh, Tom. Oh, Tom, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're here. Because Mr. Markham's still here, and I wanted the two of you to meet so much. Oh, Chester, this is Tom. Tom, this is Mr. Markham.
Hi. How do you do, Tom?
Chester has something very interesting he wants to tell you, don't you, Chester?
Sure. What?
You know, it's what we talked about before, the thing.
What thing?
It's the bang, Chester. You know, the thing bang. Bang.
Mary.
You know, it's the boom boom.
Mary.
Chester, the boom boom bang.
Mary.
No, Chester, just tell Tom about the big bang. You know, the boom boom. You know, goodbye, Ohio.
I'm sorry, Mary. I don't know what you're talking about.
Chester, tell Tom about the device, the nuclear device. You're going to blow up Ohio.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hartman. Your wife's a little excitable. You know, she makes up stories from, well, now and then, you know. I just hope they don't have to give her shock therapy. Oh, I'm sorry. Look.
Chester, you promised me that you'll tell him. You tell the truth, Chester. He's going to think I'm crazy. What? Tommy has a bomb. He has an atomic bomb. Why won't you believe me?
Please, try to calm down, will you?
Why?
Now, I think you better go now, Mr. Hartman.
Tom, don't look at me that way. He has a bomb. He's going to blow up Heather. I mean, Ohio. He's going to blow up Ohio.
You better go now, Mr. Hartman. Okay.
Look, Nurse Gimbel, I don't lie. I may be sick, but I don't lie.
Mary, everything's going to be all right.
How can everything be all right? The man's going to blow up Ohio. Why would anyone believe
Mary,
me?
you're just a little excited over seeing your husband again. Now, it is a normal reaction for a woman to respond emotionally to her mate. Now, every woman has a normal fear towards the mate because of his strength, but it's something that you're just going to have to cope with, and you will, because after all, that's why you're here.
He thinks I'm crazy. Now I'll never get out of here.
Now, there. Have a good cry. There's nothing like a good cry to make a woman feel like a woman.
Hello, is Annie Wiley there? No, just a minute. She said you wouldn't mind calling her to the phone. Oh, she is there. Good, terrific. Just tell her it's Tom Hartman then, okay? Thank you. Yeah. Annie? Hi, Tom Hartman. Listen, I wondered if you still wanted to see me tonight. Good. No dinner. No, I've already eaten, thanks. But I would like to see you. Okay, in about an hour. I'll see you then. Okay. Bye-bye.
Come on in. Well, who's this pretty little thing?
This is my daughter, Heather. I hope you don't mind me being alone.
Well, of course not.
Heather, say hello to Mrs. Wiley.
Oh, forget that Mrs. Wiley stuff. Just call me Annie.
Hi, Annie. Wow, this is neato. My father told me you were neat, but he didn't tell me what a neat place you live in.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Do you want to take a look around?
Yeah, this is neato.
Oh, sit down.
Oh, thanks, yeah.
You want some coffee?
No, I don't think so. I think she thinks your trailer's neat. I think so, yeah.
She's really cute.
Yeah. I'm gonna...
Something bothering you? You seem very down.
Yeah. Just had kind of a rough day today, you know?
Oh. Would you like to talk about it?
No?
Well, maybe some music would help.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt.
You like Vivaldi?
What is that, like Manavani or something?
No, it's something like classical. Here, see if you like this.
Now remember that for next time, okay?
Hey, you got ears.
Hey, what kind of talk is that? What do you say?
It's CB talk.
What, you got a CB?
Oh, I'm hooked on it.
You ratchet jaw?
What? What are you talking about?
That's CB for talking a lot. But how do you know so much about it?
My friend Trudy Weathersby, her father has a CB in their camper. We're not supposed to use it, but we sneak in while he's at work. What's your handle?
I'm Tippy Toes, known to every 18-wheeler from here to Jersey.
Tippy Toes, that's wild. I'm Wonder Girl.
Ah, 10-4.
Can I modulate for a while?
10 Roger. Do you know how to handle the box?
That's affirmative, Tippy Toes.
You got it.
We gone. Hey, this music is heavy. I love it.
Hey, thanks. Are you sure you don't want to talk about what's bothering you?
Well, you got enough troubles of your own, you know?
Look, I listen well.
Maybe later, huh?
Anytime. If it'll make you feel better.
Thanks, Tippy Toes.
10 Roger, old buddy.
Mary, I know that you think your husband is a wonderful man.
Tom?
Well, yes, you know, you said it was so wonderful between you when you were home for that night. Don't you remember?
It was. Only now he just doesn't believe a word I say.
Well, that's just the point I'm making, Mary. See, you mustn't believe every word he says either. I know you love him, but love him with your eyes open.
What do you mean, keep my eyes open during sex?
Good. Then you see him for what he is.
What is he?
Well, what would you call a man that makes a date with another woman just after visiting his sick wife?
Who did that?
Tom Hartman, your husband. He made a date with another woman for tonight.
That's not true. I don't believe that. Tom doesn't make dates with other women. I mean, not anymore. I mean, he would never do that to me. I mean, he loves me too much. Wanda, why would you tell me something like
Mary,
that?
I don't want to be the one to tell you. Believe me, I hate women who tell tales, but you mustn't go back into the real world with any illusions. Otherwise, you'll just end up in here again.
I'm sorry, Wanda. I do not believe that my husband, Tom Hartman, has made a date with another woman. That is so hostile of you, Wanda. How do you know he made a date?
Well, I heard him on the phone just now. He made a date with a woman named Annie.
Oh, well, that just proves it. He never knew anybody named Annie.
He does now. Mary, believe me, they're all alike.
Women?
No, men. I know from experience. There's only one way to be happy with a man.
How's that?
Expect the very worst, because that's what you're going to get.
Wanda? If I told you something about Chester, do you promise that you won't say anything?
Is it sexual?
Would you like it to be?
No, I don't think so.
Chester swore to me that he has a nuclear device and that he is going to blow up the southern half of Ohio.
Oh, Mary, he says that to everyone.
No, Wanda. This time, he has told me when he is going to do it.
When?
The next time somebody says, "Have a nice day."
Mary, I really feel that you're drifting now.
Maybe you're right. Anywho.
Flame that cures them lovesick blues is a shot of that vitamin L. Well, I surely do need me a big old dose of that good old vitamin L. Thank you very much. Thank you. You know, right now, I'd like to take this chance to introduce the very fabulous gentleman who does the honors of making music with me with this fabulous Echo Space machine down here. It's a new thing. And here he is right now, Mr. Howie Ronick. Give Howie a nice hand. We appreciate it, Howie. We really do. Well, I just want to tell you all how fabulous it is to be back here at the Capri Lounge. It truly warms my cockles. It really does. And just to see all of my nice friends and admirers and everything, it's just, gosh, it's fabulous. Oh, shoot. Well, listen, I'm going to close this early show here tonight with a little rendition. It's a little ditty that I wrote myself, an original song I wrote myself, and it's kind of special to me. The title of it is Moaning in the Night, and I sure hope you enjoy it. Hit it, Howie. Well, I've got a bedtime story, but it ain't the nursery kind. No Mother Goose or Aesop fable, but about how love's been a little bit unstable. Yes, this story's real. Here's my cards on the table. Now, I don't mean to sound unkind, but lately our love ain't been what it was. As you know, things ain't been quite right. Well, you can't help it, and neither can I. Still I'm moaning in the night. Oh, baby, I'm moaning. Don't you know that I'm moaning now? Can't you hear me moaning? Moaning in the night. Oh, yes, I'm moaning. Don't you know that I'm moaning now? Can't you hear me moaning? Moaning in the night. My friends all say that I'm lucky, and I am. You're not the cheating kind. Don't come home drunk, don't lie and deceive, with evening in Paris a-smelling on your sleeve. And for another woman, why, you'd never leave me. But still I feel I gotta speak my mind, 'cause we can't be together in the way that we could now. I don't mean to sound impolite, but it's put a dapper on our love and got me moaning in the night. Oh, baby, I'm moaning. Don't you know that I'm moaning now? Can't you hear me moaning? Moaning in the night. Oh, yes, I'm moaning. Don't you know that I'm moaning now? Can't you hear me moaning? Moaning in the night. Now, I still love you. You know that I do. The going's been mighty rough, but we'll get it together. Work it out now, you'll see, and things will be right back to where they used to be. Loving together in harmony, 'cause I think that we have suffered enough. Now I trust you, Lord, to hear my prayers that I pray each day and night, to put the Tabasco back in our love and stop this moaning in the night. Oh, baby, moaning. Don't you know that I'm moaning now? Please help me stop moaning, moaning in the night. Oh, Lord, I'm moaning. Don't you know that I'm moaning now? Please help me stop moaning, moaning in the night. Oh, Lord, won't you please help me stop moaning? Please help me stop moaning in the night. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow. Yes, sir. Hey, Howie. Oh, that was good, Howie. Really good. Yes, sir.
Isn't she
Oh, she's
fantastic,
incredible.
man? Boy, I tell you, isn't that about the greatest singing artist you ever got sung at
She's
by?
terrific. She's
I tell
terrific.
you, that woman is a singer.
Yeah, she's something, boy, I'll tell you. I'll tell you, the way she writes those songs, too. I mean, one right after the other, I can't believe it.
Tom, if you were in show business like we were, you'd know that what makes a good song is it's got to be personal. It's got to be personal about the...
Yeah, but Loretta doesn't have to have anything personal. I mean, that lonesome in the night there, that moan in the night, that's... she's your wife. She hasn't got any cause to do any lonesome moaning in the night.
No.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Come on, Charlie. Come on. Hey, I'm your pal. I'm your buddy, right? I'm your friend.
There's nothing wrong,
There's
Tom.
something wrong. You can tell me. Now, come on, tell me.
There's nothing wrong.
Charlie, look, let me tell you something. Now, I haven't wanted to tell you this, but I've noticed that the whole phony limp you've been walking around with, I know that's an act.
Who said?
I say so. Come on. I'm no dummy. I can tell. Charlie, where did that bullet hit you? Huh? I know it didn't hit you in the leg. Where did it hit you? So where did it hit you, so? Oh, no. Wow. Oh, my God.
Charlie?
Oh, my God. No, not a guy like... Oh, that can't happen to a guy like you. Charlie, you and Loretta never let a night go by.
Cut it out, Tom. Just cut it out.
No, oh, my God, wow. Oh, I don't know what to say.
Don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing.
Wow. If that happened to me, I'd jump...
Now you jump off a bridge, right?
Wow.
Well, don't think I haven't thought about it.
Oh, wow. Charlie, wow.
Tom, you can wow all night long, but it won't help me be a wow of a man with my wife the way I used to be.
Oh, Charlie, look, if there's anything I can do, I'd cut off my right arm for you. You know that, don't you?
Another right arm is not what I need right now, Tom. That ain't what I need.
Oh, Lord, won't you please help me stop mourning?
So, maybe it's just 4 simple beats, but they hit me pretty hard today. And I know Mary sounds really delusional from the outside, but it was like old school Snuffleupagus and Big Bird stuff when Snuffleupagus was imaginary and not just some character that anyone could see, but like back in the days when Snuffleupagus was an imaginary character that only Big Bird could see and no one else would ever see Snuffleupagus. And that's kind of what Chester pulled on Mary. Chester is a threat, clearly, but it sounds ridiculous. And no one believes her, and even Nurse Gimble was really on the side of getting Tom out of there. And Mary's excitement doesn't actually have to do with Tom. Mary's just trying to express her fear. And I don't know, if no one will let her say what she's afraid of, I don't know how she's gonna even begin to get that out of her system. Much less there's an actual threat that could happen when someone says, "Have a nice day," which was a fairly big trend in the 1970s. I guess people still say it now. Then Tom, as he exits the ward, pulls out his dime. I think that's what phone calls cost in the 1970s, and calls out for Annie. And that was something that I thought would happen, was he would reach out to Annie. Annie asked him over anyway. And even though what Annie and Tom have talked about has been fairly platonic, it ends up becoming a rumor because Wanda walks up right behind Tom. And I don't think I've really even seen Tom and Wanda interact. So, other than maybe the fact that she's had a documentary on television, I don't know that anyone would know what Tom looked like. But anyway, it becomes fuel for things that Mary can be scared of. Then we cut over to the recreational vehicle, Annie's spot, and Tom brings Heather, and I think it's really intended on both parts Annie and Tom's part to be a completely platonic deal. Tom really does need someone to talk to about the things that he is feeling about Mary. He's not ready to talk about it yet, and I think that's fair. Heather is very impressed by the trailer, whatever kind of vehicle it is. And Citizens Band radio was a big trend back then, Convoy and Breaker Breaker, and I don't even remember any of the CB code that I had in my coloring book as a child, but that to me was like the this reference is dated, but that was like the AOL chat room of the 1970s was Citizens Band Radio, CB radio. And, it would be like a Facebook messenger thread or something. Just a place where people get together. Maybe it's like the YouTube comments. But, it was a way for people to reach out to each other in the 1970s. And it was really novel. And then it went completely out of style. Like, I don't know anyone in the public who deals with Citizen Band radio. I'm not even sure if truckers use it nowadays. But there we are. And yes, it's still clear that Tom and Annie have a chemistry together. At this point, I'm willing to suggest that it is purely friendship. Because they've both been very verbally clear about the boundaries. Tom is still, committed to Mary as far as I have seen, and Annie just wants a friend and has been very clear that she's not coming on to Tom. They have a chemistry. That is not something that I'm denying, but the fact that they have both set these boundaries at this moment, I'm not judging it beyond that. Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a bad thing that Mary has heard about this at all. But I don't believe that Tom is intentionally cheating on Mary at this point. We'll see, because chemistry can make things happen. And I've said it like 3 or 4 times already in this video. Tom and Annie do have chemistry. Then we see Wanda telling Mary about the phone call, and it's just no one will listen to Mary, and that is so difficult because, Chester Markham even denies it when asked to his face. But for some reason, Mary is holding this secret that would, of course, terrify her. I can't imagine knowing something like that in the 1970s. Oh, gosh. I used to run a show on this channel called Tales of Gen X Terror, which was all about that late Cold War energy where nuclear bombs were kind of a big part of pop culture, especially in the 80s, but in the 1970s it was still pretty scary. Up until we're still 4 years away from Reagan, when things got really scary. Or maybe we just sort of rode off. Anyway, I'm doing a tangent, but anyway, if you were interested in some of my previous content, I have a lot of pop culture stuff. I'll post a link up here for that. But then we cut to the Capri Lounge, and Tom and Charlie are there watching Loretta, who has a new guitar player. Richie is no longer playing for Loretta, and it's a new guy, Howie Ronick. I think that's what I heard. That's why I snickered there. And the song is fun. It has a nice bop to it. But what the real energy of that scene was Tom figuring out exactly what happened to Charlie. Or rather, that some piece of Charlie was lost. And I think even though Charlie wants to deny the facts of his life, the circumstances and all that he really does need someone to talk to about this, because he ain't getting better in terms of his own his own insecurities, his own feelings are not going to get processed if he just keeps denying that they're happening. And Tom is, of course, really, really finding this pitiful. You know, which is probably the reason that Charlie wouldn't want to talk about it with Tom, but it's a painful situation, and you know, I hope that it means that Charlie can trust Tom. Because I don't think that Tom intends to betray Charlie over that set of emotions or that fact or that story. But, you know, hopefully that's something good happening for anyone in this show. We could use some good things. That's what I've got to share about this episode, everyone. Thank you so much for snacking with me this evening. I appreciate you and the thoughts that you share about the show down in the comments, because conversation is important. Thank you again for being here, and we will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.